Well, I got two NCAA tournament winners that go on Thursday afternoon, March 20th, and they come in games between the McNeese State and Clemson, and also the Georgia Bulldogs and the Gonzaga Bulldogs, a battle of the Bulldogs. And I got winning sides in both of those games. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my picks on these contests, or if you have plays on the totals in this game. Just leave it in the comments section, folks, and keep it respectful. That's all I ask. Don't forget, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Just click that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It's absolutely free. And also, while you're at it, click that alert notification bell for WagerTalk TV. Also, be kind enough to give me a like on my video. It goes a long way in making me happy, and I'm trying to make you happy. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job of such, but in any event, it also helps keep these videos free for the foreseeable future. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. McNeese State against Clemson. Thursday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. The game will be played in Providence, Rhode Island. It's a first round Midwest regional matchup. Clemson's a really good team. There's no two ways about it. This is a team that's really, in some eyes, have over excelled this year. But in any event, let's keep in mind they played in the ACC. The ACC was by far the weakest power conference in all of basketball this year, college basketball, that is. And only 4 of 18 teams were invited to the NCAA tournament. So it goes to show you this is a very, very down year for the ACC. And keep this in mind, too. Current head coach Brad Brownell, he's 26-70 straight up in away or neutral site games against teams with a winning record like McNeese State after game 15 of the season. So once it reaches beyond the halfway point of the year, when they play winning teams under Brad Brownell, Clemson hasn't fared very well. Now, they fared a little better this year in those situations, but in any event, it shows you a long history of lack of success under Brad Brownell in that exact situation. They suffered a huge loss too, not on the floor in terms of a game, but in terms of injury. Chase Hunter went down with a broken hand in the ACC tournament, and he's a guy who's averaging 16.4 points per game. So big loss for Clemson going into the NCAA tournament. Brown is lost for the year. This is a Clemson team, and the the ACC tournament games that shot worse than 40% in both contests, shooting 38% in one, 39% in the other. They won one of those games by 3 over SMU, and they lost the other by 3 against Louisville. McNeese comes in 27-6 overall, and that includes winning 22 of their last 23 games. You want to know how good KenPom thinks of McNeese is? They rank them 59th nationally in the country. So not overly impressive in that regard, but don't forget, folks, they rank 364 Division I teams in college basketball, and they have McNeese at number 59. So they're in the top 1/6 of college basketball in terms of how KenPom sees them as a quality basketball team. Over their last 5 games, McNeese averaging just a shy under 82 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, 42% from beyond the three-point stripe. And this is the thing, okay? I mentioned that Clemson, in their last 2 games, both in the ACC tournament, shot worse than 40%. Over their last 5 games, McNeese has held opponents to 62.6 points per game, 36% shooting, and less than 30% from beyond the three-point line. So they played extremely good defense, understood against weaker competition, but the intensity and the ability to shut opponents down defensively still will carry over to the NCAA tournament. We might not see those good in numbers defensively, but they're going to be solid defensively, even though. All right, and this will only be the third time all season long that McNeese State is an underdog, and in the previous two situations, they covered both of those games as an underdog. McNeese is not going to be strange to the NCAA tournament, where they'll have a lot of nerves. I mean, all teams have nerves going into the NCAA tournament, but this is their second appearance in as many years, and they're coached by former LSU head coach Will Wade, and Will Wade got fired by LSU. But let's keep in mind, folks, he didn't get fired for how well or how bad the LSU Tigers did on the court. He got fired because of off-court issues. Since he's took over as McNeese State's head coach last season, obviously they've been now to the tournament 2 years in a row, conference champion 2 years in a row, and his overall record at McNeese State in the 2 years he's been there is 57-10. So a lot to consider and like when it comes to getting points with McNeese State plus 7.5 against Clemson on Thursday afternoon, March the 20th. Before I get to my next game, which will be Georgia and Gonzaga, some quick notes here, folks. College basketball premium picks on a modest 11-7 run. However, college basketball sides 21-14, 60% over my last 35. College basketball totals going back to March of 2022. That's 3 years, folks. Up 4,161 units, or I should say $4,161 based on $100 bet per unit. And you can get the rest of March and all of April right now for $299. That includes all sports for any one of us over at WagerTalk, including yourself. Again, all access pass, all sports, the rest of March and all of April right now for just $299. Take advantage of that offer, folks. It'll take you through the CBI, NIT, NCAA tournaments, right through the championship game. It will encompass the NBA and also the NHL as well. So take advantage of that offer while it lasts, which it expires next Tuesday. So you have some time. But again, the sooner you buy that package, the more you're going to benefit from it. Because right now, $299 is 30 for 30-day all access pass. We're giving you all of March and the rest of April, so you're getting an additional 14 days by purchasing today on that all access, all sports package. All right, so let's get to Georgia and Gonzaga. That game goes at 4:35 on Thursday afternoon. The game will be played at Intrust Arena in Wichita, Kansas, and it's a first-round Midwest regional matchup. Gonzaga right now is a 6.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 150.5. You know, this Georgia Bulldog team has it's not going to knock your socks off when you look at their 20-12 record and their 8-10 conference record, and the fact they lost in the first round of the SEC tournament. But, keep in mind, the SEC was far and away the best conference in all of college basketball this year. And as a result, 14 teams from the SEC, including Georgia, made the NCAA tournament. This is a Georgia team that went 12-1 straight up in a non-conference portion of their schedule. That included a win over current number 2 seed St. John's. Also, quality SEC wins for Georgia against Kentucky, Florida, who's the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, Texas, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma, all those teams part of the NCAA tournament. Georgia, number 16 nationally, also in offensive rebounding, a very athletic team. They could give an opponent like Gonzaga, who's not used to seeing that type of athleticism in the WCC, a lot of problems. And they do play, Gonzaga annually plays a very tough non-conference schedule. But this year, they went 1-3 in their non-conference schedule against teams that made the NCAA tournament. And they also lost to West Virginia, who did not make the tournament. So, not as dominant a Gonzaga team as we saw in years past. As a matter of fact, they didn't win the regular season title because they were swept by St. Mary's during the regular season action in the WCC. They atoned for that two losses by defeating St. Mary's to get an automatic bid. St. Mary's also part of the NCAA tournament. So I think Gonzaga is a little bit overvalued here as a 6.5 point favorite against a team from the SEC. This isn't, like I alluded to, I don't see Gonzaga as being as good as they've been in recent years under Mark Few. And Georgia, a team that's on the rise, they'll be highly motivated in this contest. And they're no stranger to tough competition, so they won't shy away. I like Georgia plus 6.5 here to keep this game very competitive against Gonzaga. I would not be shocked to see an outright upset here, but I will take the points as an additional bonus here, folks. Don't get greedy. Georgia plus 6.5 over Gonzaga. McNeese State plus 7.5 over Clemson on Thursday afternoon, March the 20th in the NCAA tournament. I will be back tomorrow with more college basketball free picks in the NCAA tournament. Until then, take care and God bless, folks.